When we think of war, we picture something official, a declared conflict, uniforms, clear battle lines. But what happens when lethal force is used outside that system?
Tonight, the White House releasing this dramatic video of the U.S. blowing up a boat in the Southern Caribbean. President Trump says it was carrying drugs from Venezuela and that the strike killed 11 members of the notorious gang Tren de Aragua, or TDA.
When a president orders people to be killed in places where no war has been declared, what does the law say? Who is responsible? And what happens next? Over recent months, the United States has carried out multiple lethal strikes on small boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific. The government described the targets as drug vessels or narco-trafficking operators. This language is crucial because it legally defines whether the people on board were combatants or civilians. But in several cases, journalists and human rights investigators have raised a critical question. Were all these individuals actually engaged in hostile operations? Or were some of them just fishermen, misidentified, misinterpreted, or caught in a policy that prioritizes force over verification? To understand the consequences, we have to look at the law. In the United States, only Congress has the power to declare war. This comes directly from the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. The War Powers Resolution further states that the President can't initiate or escalate hostilities without notifying Congress within 48 hours and must get authorization within 60 days. In 1952, the Supreme Court ruled that a president's authority is at its weakest when acting without congressional approval. In other words, having the power to act doesn't automatically make the action lawful. International law adds another layer. If the individuals killed are combatants, lethal force might be lawful. But if they are civilians and no immediate threat can be proven, those killings become extrajudicial and are potentially a war crime under the Geneva Conventions. So the entire legal outcome hangs on a single question. Were the people who were killed lawful combatants, or were they civilians? This isn't a political question. It's a question of evidence. If the government can show verified intelligence, intercepted communications, or observable hostile actions, the strike may fall under lawful military action. But if that evidence is missing, inconsistent, or withheld, then the classification shifts from a security operation to an extrajudicial killing. If a strike is deemed unlawful, accountability doesn't stop with the person who pulled the trigger. Both international and U.S. law recognize something called command responsibility. This means everyone in the chain of command, from the strike commanders who executed the order, to the intelligence agencies that provided the threat assessment, to the Secretary of Defense who authorized the operation, and even to the President who ordered the use of force, could face legal exposure. Commanders at every level actually have a duty to refuse orders that are manifestly unlawful. And there is no statute of limitations on extrajudicial killings. History is full of examples where accountability came years or even decades later. We've seen it with former dictators, military juntas, and private contractors. Justice can be a very long game. So what happens now? It's not immediate. It's a slow, methodical process that begins with documentation. It involves identifying the victims, independently verifying the facts, legally classifying them as combatant or civilian, and launching congressional or even international inquiries. If even one of these cases is proven to be a civilian killing, the legal doors swing open, and once they're open, they do not close again. Presidential power is not absolute. A president can act, but they cannot undo the truth. And the truth has a way of resurfacing, in courtrooms, in archives, and in the memories of families who refuse to forget. This story isn't over. It's just beginning. Thank you for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the issues that matter. See you next time.